Hello everyone! In this video I'll be doing plein air in the Amsterdam forest again. This very fine willow tree will be the subject of a new fineliner drawing, and I'll be heading out twice in this video, getting most of the work done on location. But as per usual, I do finish the drawing at home. Furthermore, there will be a grebe update, and I'll be rambling on for a bit about trees, especially about my current favorite, the pollard willow tree. I've got a slight obsession going on right now. So if this sounds like something that might interest you, I'd love it if you come along plein air drawing with me. My name is Suzanne, welcome to my channel, and let's get started for real. At the end of April, I went back to my current favorite location in the Amsterdam forest. This is a lane with loads of pollard willow trees, knotwilgen in Dutch, on both sides of the path. During my first plein air session of the year, I made a drawing of a very nice younger willow tree, that one to the right. But this time around I wanted to tackle an older one, with a nice thick trunk and some interesting shapes to it. And I did not have to look far, because the one across the path had already been beckoning to me since last time I was out here. Just look at this beauty. It's got some really interesting shapes and it's an excellent example of its kind. It's got a super gnarly bark, lumps and bumps everywhere, branches going this way and that. The top branches are shooting off to one side a bit more, giving a sense of movement to the whole thing as well. So an easy decision subject-wise this time around, and I happily put my stuff down and got to work. I was not entirely sure how I wanted to draw this one yet, however, landscape or portrait, so I made quite a few thumbnail sketches. In truth, I had sort of expected to make another portrait drawing beforehand, but none of my tryouts for that felt right, and in the end I settled on the landscape thumbnail after all. I still wasn't entirely sure this was the right decision, but I proceeded to make the sketch on my paper anyway. At a certain point you just have to get started, right? And then this is the sketch all done. I already liked where it was going, and then it was finally time for the fineliner. I'm using stretched hot press watercolor paper again, by the way. That's what I prefer to draw on these days anyway, and having it stretch means I can add watercolor paint at a later stage without any trouble. I had actually sort of made up my mind to turn this into a watercolor before I got here, but that did not happen. This was for two reasons. First, at the end of the day I simply liked it a lot just as a fineliner drawing. I'm a sucker for monochrome drawings anyway, but also for expressive and/or intricate line work. The latter is a bit of an obsession I've got going, in fact. And the second reason for not turning it into a watercolor painting, which was actually more interesting to me, I think eventually I want to make an oil painting of this tree. It's been a long time since I've wanted to get out my oil paints, but this just might be the subject to get me back into them. I don't expect this will happen before late autumn though, because plein air season is fully on. and I want to be outside as much as I can, especially after all the rain we've had. But in future, this is probably going to happen. The oil painting, I mean. Just in case you're wondering, I don't paint outside with oil paints. I don't have the right setup, and I'm kind of a slow worker when it comes to oils, at least right now. One day I might try that, but I doubt it will happen anytime soon. If an oil painting is made of this very fine tree, it will be a full winter at home project where I can take my time and try to do the subject justice. I was glad to see the grebes from my last vlog were still there. There's a couple of these lovely birds nesting on the opposite side of the brook. And last time there were no eggs yet. This time around the nest looked sturdier, but I couldn't tell whether there were any eggs in there, as the nest was continuously occupied anytime I glanced over at it. We'll get back to the grebes later. The rest of the afternoon went well enough, and it was nice plein air weather even though it was still quite windy and chilly, a mere 10 degrees Celsius, and the sun came and went. Which was fine because I was dressed appropriately. So, here we already come to the last footage of the day. And this is the last shot before going home. I came back almost a full week later after having done some thinking about whether to turn the drawing into a watercolor painting, and deciding not to, as I just explained. I was actually pretty tired on this day after not getting enough sleep. Small health scare turned out not to be serious, but I still wanted to go out and draw. By now I know I always feel better if I do. And here I am in the same location, settling back into doing my line work. I had a lot of fun again despite being a bit fatigued. Seriously, put me near a tree with something to draw or paint and I'm a happy person. Trees make me feel better. Especially these pollard willow trees right now. They're very interesting in more ways than one, and amongst other things, these willows are a habitat for loads of plants and form an excellent shelter for all kinds of animals and bugs. This one has at least one set of small birds nesting in there in one of the small holes. These trees are also a major part of our historical landscape and have been depicted by Rembrandt van Rijn and Vincent van Gogh. In short, they're kind of intrinsically Dutch and I love them. Okay, tree ramble over, only to head straight into a second grebe update. At a certain point I heard some serious rustling from across the water, the brook that runs along the path where I was sitting, and I was just in time to see one of the grebes stretch upwards on the nest. I managed to get some footage and I'm happy to report there are at least 2 big eggs in there. Can you see them? I hope I can spot them later with their young as well, that would be cool. I'll definitely keep an eye out for them and keep you posted. After all that excitement, I went back to drawing and I got quite a bit of work done, which was good. I had a very good time doing all the line work as per usual. This is so my jam. I did really like how the drawing was going as well. The composition pleased me after all, which was also good. Here we already come to the last shot of the afternoon, the drawing in front of the subject. Then it was time to pack up and go home. I did not get back to this drawing until almost a full month later. The piece did not require a great deal of work actually, but here is some of what I filmed. The top needed some defining. The floor did need some attention, as I decided it needed quite a bit of grasses and flowers added to balance the heavy top out. The trunk needed some more shading, but not too much, trying to keep it somewhat light. More branches and foliage were added at the top. The branches sweeping off to the side needed some adding to, so I did that as well. Here I finally put my initials on the bottom corner by way of signing. Always a sign we are nearing the end. This is Mimi sleeping in her little basket. She often joins me when I'm drawing or painting. And here is the last of the footage, right before quite a lot of final tweaking took place off camera. This always happens with me. And then finally we have the finished drawing. You know, I kind of really love this one, especially the way the top looks and how it feathers out to the sides, specifically the right side, like it's caught in the wind. But I also like the entire look and feel of the tree trunk. And I think I can safely say my pollard willow obsession will continue on in the future. Let's see the final scan now, why don't we? And that was it for me. So, if you've made it to the end of this video, I thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, as always that would help a lot. I hope you enjoyed the video, including my over-the-top fondness for trees, and maybe I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.